It's always an honor to host you every Wednesday of the month right here on the Digital Earth Africa live sessions. Greetings, fellow leaders from the African continent and across the world. Welcome to today's live session. My name is Maud Nale, the communications lead at Digital Earth Africa. And today we're going to be talking about a very interesting Earth observation topic, and that is principal component analysis for multispectral data. Principal component analysis, or PCA in short, helps in understanding Sentinel-2 data as images are captured in various spectral bands, but only 3 of these are visualized. PCA provides insights on different land cover types, empowering decision-making. To tell us a bit more about this topic, I'm very excited to introduce today's presenter. He is no stranger to the live sessions. You may have seen him at an event in a country near you. He is the Capacity Development Lead for Digital Earth Africa. Please join me in welcoming onto the virtual stage, Dr. Kenneth Mubea. Dr. Mubea, the stage is yours. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Maud, for the opportunity. It's a great pleasure to connect with you every time, every week. So we had a snapshot of this topic last week, thanks to Professor Joseph, who's in this call. And just to take you through the session today in English is just to introduce you to the same in, of course. Then in the next slide now, we'll be able to see an overview of the presentation. This is just introducing you to the overview of Digital Africa, the mission of the program, support all the various thematic areas, which when you scroll through, you'll be able to see the 5 thematic areas as we continue to expand to much more, empowering the stakeholders. So now when I look at the next presentation, just introduction to the principal component as done by the moderator. The principal component analysis makes it easier to explore all the bands in 3, because we're only able to view the visible red, green, or 4 color composites. And in this, in Digital Africa, it's implemented using Sentinel-2 data, which is very impactful. You could be looking at coastlines, you could be looking at the various pictures, you could be exploring at minerals, etc. So the steps here, we load the analysis ready Sentinel-2. And in this particular case, I had an example of the Mozambique channel, which actually apparently is in Madagascar. So these opportunities to see the time series images of several months. This is a period between January, February, March, and here we're able to aggregate as much data as possible from the 12 bands to make it possible just to visualize the impactful information. This is more of sieving through the data as much short time as possible and just visualizing. So now in the next one, you'll be able to see how we implement such a model. And in this case, we've just compressed the various bands and just to try to move around the various bands so that you can be able to see how this particular feature looks, this Mozambique channel. So in any example, as was presented last time, is to see how this one helps us to understand the features more closely. And when you look at the next slide, we'll be able to see the same for somewhere where I was looking at Garissa, where we had an example of some floods, certain areas, and we were able to visualize the change as much as possible. So the first one on the left is red, green, blue, and the other one is a 4 color composite having different bands to look at an example of flood risk area. Then in the next slide, you'll be able to see some of the training courses that we have. Today being one of the shortest presentations that we'll ever have with Digital Africa, as I try to see if the same example can be done in the sandbox. And if you could just user guides, which was just a summary of what we could do together with you. Loading the data, providing the various methodologies, and running the model. And then as we know, most of these steps, we're also working on for you to upload your own file for an area of interest. And also this could be, you could be able to, as well as other files, shapefile, etc. Here, you normally comment on the one that you don't use. For this one now, we are using the exact coordinates. And if you're using this other second one, you just put a comment hash and you can comment on this one. Then you'll be able to run it. And this one is time steps that you'll be able to change for you to see. And then we choose a resolution of 20, but you can also use 10. It's just that it will take some more time to load on your end. Just being a little bit patient. In this case, we are loading data of minimum 98% cloud cover. As you know, this area around Madagascar is very prone to clouds. Then the same transformation, we're going to see the first image as we load it. Then we put now the components, the model itself. Then it gives you this very nice visualization as we have on the side. So I just had a small challenge with my connection where I was connecting from because of the connectivity issues. And this is in your frequently assessed codes. This is the principal component analysis. And this is the one that I was going to run for this particular example. And since we have colleagues who've joined us from different parts of the country, why not make it more interesting for today's viewers? So most of this is just depending on the connectivity, and for friends from Senegal, they can at least have or Morocco. I can see we can vote which example you guys would like, but no need of just an example for today. So mostly, as you know, you need your coordinates in these formats so that you can be able to use it very nicely. So these ones you can capture there, and then you go to your process here. This is where you comment. So it's just a matter of putting this one here. So this sandbox environment, we try to make it as simple as possible compared to other platforms that you could have used, and possibly you had a different experience. This is just a matter of just trying to run it for different months. This I just took a random year. You can always choose the dates because we have the Sentinel loaded. This is the key data set that we use. So you could even have a Sentinel image of the same place where we could actually explore. As much as we have this resource with us, it's really impactful to make our life easy. Longer the days we had to download data from different sources, now we can actually see the data set. So this is just an image covered 2 days ago. And I know Fatu can attest that the lake looks pink, but it looks different when you visit it up on the site. So it's always good to take advantage of these data sources that we have. And of course, remember we said we can always share the data like on the fly. Then, of course, you remember we said you can create your own story maps. Then on this side, just checking on the processes. So you could take some time, you just as you wait based on my internet connectivity. Then, of course, you saw Digital Africa has that element that you can ask for extra computing resource that is more than 32 GB. It's available for you for free. So principal component analysis is just more of trying to make your processing environment easy. We are joined by many leaders in the continent looking at different elements. We could be looking at an area of vegetation. So this is our area, which is loaded. And of course, the area is very much prone to issues of cloud cover. This is the best we could get. And since we need to zoom into the area, what we could do is we could change the buffer to something like 0.05. It's always good to do these things on the fly so that we can see how to run. So you can run the cell and they're all below, or you can choose to run it from the start from up. And of course, getting a free cloud cover around certain times can be tough, but most of Senegal, we know the rainy season around July, August. So that means you're prone to get more clouds. So this is just a walk around, and you'll be able to see some of the results for this particular example. And the good thing with the live sessions, we could do various examples for different regions. So at least this is what happens when I zoom into 0.05. And then let's see the principal component, at least you can be able to see. So it means the smaller the region, the faster the results. We could also move to a certain area of our liking, just looking at those with the microphone, what they want to see. You could just move to different areas as well. Some of the interesting water bodies where you know, or some phenomenon. We could even move to somewhere bigger, like I know near Rabat we have the two interesting rivers. They joined to get the picture, which was I remember was like there's a dam here being fed by the river which flows to Atlantic. So we could actually have examples for any region, just having a random example to make our work more continental. So those are the coordinates I was looking for. Then I wanted to get the values without the degrees and minutes. So this is just an example of the area. It's a odd measure. And the same example now, I could do the same so that at least we can see how interactive we need to explore these notebooks. At least as much as we finish the training courses, we could add some effort to explore these notebooks because there are hours. So the same example, you can just run the cell and all below instead of going up because you've already loaded all the steps ahead. Loaded the notebooks, we've loaded all the libraries. We're just moving from one step to another, making your life a little bit easier. Then you can always change the dates. And of course, the dynamics, we have the introduction to Sandbox. Of course, it gives you a very good overview of the program. And then we have water resources, agriculture, urbanization, land regulation, and coastlines in English and French. And also with you, this year, 2024, we'll be able to develop more courses based on what you want to see. So this is the same example for the same area, but now they're in Morocco. And this was the exact name of the feature I was looking for. This was actually wet growth, which it splits into two and it's able to flow to the Atlantic. This is a very agricultural area, and just for we could see the same image and filter by location for this area and see if we have a recent image of this month and how the situation is, and you can see just a very good without even downloading data. It's an image of 25th. We could move around and you can put from RGB. You could have a full color composite. The good thing with this, you can also add data on. Okay, then you could have data on the water. This is on the surface water. Then you have annual water, etc., etc. Then you can see how it looks from your side. Just giving you an overview of this presentation. And going back to the example, at least we've been able to load our PCA example for this area. So it's more visualization. And now going back to a moderator so that we can see if we can continue working with you on various examples and empower everybody. So back to the moderator, Maud, thank you for the opportunity. Over to you.
Thank you so much to you, Dr. Mubea. Kenneth, speaking about principal component analysis and how you're able to use the Digital Earth Africa platform to understand these images. Many of them are not visualized, and through the platform, you're able to see a bit of images, providing insights on different land cover types. Thank you so much to you, Dr. Mubea. We love connecting with you, and on the screen is all the ways that you can connect with us. The first one is our website, www.digitalearthafrica.org. We also have a learning platform where we have free online self-paced courses. At the end, when you've completed it, you'll get a certificate of completion. You can see all the topics that we have there available, and that is called learn.digitalearthafrica.org. Our email, info@digitalearthafrica.org, and we're also on social media, same name on Twitter, LinkedIn, as well as YouTube, Digital Earth Africa. Leaders, it was an absolute honor to have you today, to host you. Thank you again to our presenter, Dr. Mubea, Kenneth, for that presentation. We're truly appreciative, and we've heard all your feedback and comments. We'll definitely incorporate it into an upcoming session. Before we say our goodbyes, I would love to put out a call to you. Maybe there's a topic of interest that you would love for us to bring on these live sessions. Please connect with us. We would be interested to know what that topic is so that we can look at bringing that in an upcoming session in the near future. But also, maybe you, an amazing facilitator on an Earth observation related topic, we would love to have you come and facilitate here. It can be in English or in French. Please do reach out to any of the team members, Dr. Mubea, or even myself, and we will facilitate that discussion on how you can add value to these live sessions. As mentioned, we host these sessions every Wednesday of the month at 11 a.m. GMT. We alternate between English and French. Today, it was in English. Next week, it's going to be in French. And so if you prefer that language, we will definitely have the session for you next week. Thank you so much for your support and your participation during these live sessions. We will meet again next week, but it's going to be in French if you prefer French. If not, again, in 2 weeks' time, a very, very exciting live session. I'll speak about it a bit more at a later date. But until then, please take care and enjoy the rest of your day.